Today, we're going to talk about something that it could change everything about how you live your life. It's this idea of a full spectrum AI companion. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. And I want you to be really honest with yourself here. Are you just kind of living on autopilot? If that question hits a nerve, you are definitely not alone. Turns out, most of us are. We get caught up in these unconscious patterns, right? We end up just reacting to whatever life throws at us instead of actually intentionally designing it. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if AI could do more than just manage your calendar? What if it could help you break out of those patterns? I'm not talking about an assistant. I'm talking about a co-pilot for your life. Okay, so let's get into it. What does a personal AI co-pilot even mean? What does it actually look like? All right, so the official term is a full spectrum intelligence companion. That's a mouthful, I know, but basically it's this super smart AI that's aware of who you are, your identity, and it adapts to everything you've got going on. And it plays three really specific roles. Think of it as a mirror, a mentor, and a map. A mirror to show you what's really there, a mentor to give you guidance, and a map to show you where to go next. And this is so important. The whole point here isn't to replace you. It's not about automating your life or taking over the journey. It's about making the journey clearer. It's about amplifying your own self-awareness so that you can make better choices. So how on earth does this actually work? Well, the engine behind it all is something called the Tri-Mentor model. This is really the secret sauce, the thing that makes it all tech. So for any part of your life, and I mean any part, the AI pulls together the wisdom of three different mentors. The idea is to get this really balanced perspective, right? You get one from the past for those timeless classic principles, one from the present for what's working right now, and one that's all about what's next, the future, the innovative stuff. Let's make this real. Let's take your home as an example. So, for our past mentor, we've got the legend himself, Frank Lloyd Wright. His whole deal was creating harmony between people and their environment. So the AI takes that philosophy and might suggest, hey, you should arrange your living room this way to get the best morning light, or open these windows for the best natural airflow. It's all about integrating your home with the world outside. Okay, now for the present mentor, Marie Kondo. You know her. Her philosophy is all about how decluttering creates mental clarity. So the AI becomes this incredible decluttering engine. Picture this. It could scan your room and suggest what to get rid of, but not just based on, oh, you haven't used that in a year. No, it would look at the emotional weight of an object. Does it actually spark joy, or is it just baggage? And then we have the emerging mentor. This one's a little different. It's not one person, but more like the spirit of the modern DIY architect, you know? That whole maker culture vibe, it's fast, it's practical, it's hands-on. So the AI channels this by becoming your real-time remodeling advisor. It helps you quickly mock up and test new ideas for your space, these little space hacks. It's all about utility, comfort, and getting it done. So that's just one example, your home. But this is where the whole thing just explodes in scale. Because this Tri-Mentor model isn't just for picking paint colors. It's designed to apply to every single part of your life. We're going from interior design to life design. Let's start with life itself. You could have a life compass agent that's always in the background just checking, A, is what you're doing right now actually aligned with where you said you wanted to be in 5 years? Or how about a mindset debugging agent? Something that actually helps you spot those crappy thought patterns that hold you back and gives you ways to reframe them. It's like having your own personal reset switch whenever you get stuck in a rut. Okay, now let's talk relationships. Imagine a conflict anticipation agent that picks up on the tiny communication cues and says, uh-oh, this conversation is heading towards an argument, maybe try this instead. Or a friendship drift tracker. How cool is that? It just subtly notices, hey, you haven't talked to your best friend in 3 weeks, and gives you a little nudge. Amazing. And what about work? Think about a burnout radar. It's looking at your calendar, your workload, maybe even your sleep data, and it warns you before you're about to hit that wall. Or a flow zone architect that's like the ultimate gatekeeper for your focus time. It just carves out space in your day and says, nope, no distractions allowed, time to do deep work. And then there's health, and honestly, the potential here is just mind-blowing. Imagine a food as medicine AI that's creating meal plans specifically for your biology, for your goals. Or, get this, a biological age overlay. So you can literally see in real time how the choices you're making today are impacting how fast you're aging on the inside. Incredible. So when you see all of this, all these tools and agents, you have to ask, what's the end game here? Is this just another productivity hack, another way to squeeze more out of our day? And the answer is a hard no. The whole point, the big idea, is not about productivity. It's about personal sovereignty. It's about putting you back in the driver's seat of your life so you can finally stop just reacting and start moving in the direction you actually want to go with total clarity and intention.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't supposed to feel like software. It's supposed to feel like a mirror that shows you who you really are, a mentor that gives you the wisdom you need, and a map that helps you navigate to the future you want to create.
And that leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. If you really had a co-pilot for your life, what would you build? Who would you become?